welcome to our Build Better Business online workshop series. This is delivered as part of the Western Downs Building Business Resilience program to support businesses across the Western Downs region to future-proof their businesses and become more resilient. The program has been supported by Shell Australia to promote a holistic approach to disaster resilience. This module is all about your customers, how you get them, how you keep them, and how you keep them coming back, even when times get tough. Understanding the customer journey and how to keep engagement with customers at all stages is critical to success in business, regardless of if disasters strike or not. These are marketing fundamentals for your business. Throughout this module, we want to highlight the opportunities that come with pivoting due to changing circumstances. Think about how crisis and disasters such as the COVID-19 pandemic forced so many businesses to think differently, get new customers, and refine their business models to work face-to-face and virtually. Generally, this is called adaptive business models. Post-disaster, some businesses have successfully adapted by modifying their products or services to meet changing customer needs. For instance, a hospitality business might introduce retail offerings to generate cash flow, thereby attracting and retaining customers in a new way. Before we get into a customer journey, it's important to appreciate that some of you will have a business to customer B2C business, while others will have a business to business B2B business model. You can also have both models at the same time, as the customer is either another business or a customer. There are two distinct customer journeys. It's also important to consider the potential risks of having a B2C only or B2B only model. Consumer customers and business customers can be affected in different ways by different disasters and risks. Think about how you could diversify your business model in the face of disasters. Here we're going to explore the B2C customer journey as a funnel with three main stages: get, keep, and grow. This means getting customers, keeping customers, and growing your customer base and spend per customer. Let's start with get. The first stages of the customer journey are called the awareness and consideration phases. Awareness. In this phase, your target audience is becoming aware of your brand and product or service. They will be searching for information about what they need on social media, search engines, and through their networks of family and friends. Consideration is the phase where customers begin to consider your business as a solution to their problem among other businesses. They will be gathering more information about your products and services to help them consider whether they should purchase something from your business or not. In the online world, this would be a user actually moving from a search engine onto your site. In the physical world, you could think of this as someone moving into your store to browse your offerings and consider whether they should purchase or not. In the get stage, customers first become aware of you and start considering your products or services. This is where marketing plays a big role. Think about your website, your social media presence, your PR, or your advertising. Your marketing should continue through disasters and focus on the positives without diminishing the risks of disasters. For example, if a neighbouring town is impacted by floods, but your business isn't, do some tactical marketing to let people know. If you have online stores or online experiences for people to access and book in-person experiences, let them know. A wonderful example is the Buy from the Bush campaign, which used Instagram to connect rural businesses with city customers during drought, leading to millions of dollars in new sales. Buy from the Bush is a community-minded directory of regional and rural Australian businesses. It began in the midst of Australia's worst drought on record as an Instagram campaign showcasing the beautiful things available to buy from rural communities facing drought. 7 weeks later, at Buy from the Bush, had over 130,000 followers on Instagram and had increased rural postage figures by 30%. A total revenue uplift of $5 million was reported, with an average sales increase of 300% per business. An excellent example of awareness driving for regional and rural Australian businesses through online channels and collaboration. The campaign provided not just immediate financial relief, but also improved long-term sustainability by expanding market access and strengthening rural business networks. It expanded into a similar initiative, Stay in the Bush, for rural and regional accommodation. Let's move along the funnel to keep customers. Here is where customers are converted. They make their purchase and we work to retain them. Purchase. In the purchase phase, customers convert from considering to purchasing your product or service. During this phase, we want to minimize as many barriers as possible for consumers. Do you provide a seamless in-person purchasing experience? Do you have an online store that is easy to navigate through payment gateways? Some strategies include providing flexibility with bookings and experiences, reminding customers of what they will experience to enhance anticipation, providing regular and clear communications to these customers during and following disasters to let them know how you will accommodate them and when it is safe to come to your business. Providing regular and clear communications to these customers during and following disasters to let them know how you will accommodate them and when it is safe to come back to your business. Another case study example is Fluffy Crunch. In February 2020, Sydney fairy floss seller Fluffy Crunch had $250,000 in planned revenue for the next several weeks. By March, that number turned to $0. The husband and wife team had to make the best of a bad situation when COVID-19 wiped out the vast majority of their business's projected revenue. They had one trick up their sleeve. The company's online sales infrastructure was in place, turning over a modest $2,000 a month. In March, the business pivoted to an online sales model focused on packages, such as the one you see on screen. Online sales continue to be a major part of revenue to this day for Fluffy Crunch. In the keep stage, we want to retain our customers. The customer journey doesn't end once a shopper makes their first purchase. Once you've converted a customer, you need to focus on keeping them around and driving repeat business. Retention is key because it costs less to keep a customer than to find a new one. The key to the retention stage is to maintain positive, engaging relationships between your brand and its customers. Try strategies like regular email outreach, coupons and sales, or exclusive communities to encourage customer loyalty. A case study of retaining is the Bring Back Binnaburra campaign. Binnaburra Lodge is a heritage-listed attraction and accommodation facility located in southeast Queensland. In September 2019, a bushfire tore through the area and destroyed most of Binnaburra's heritage-listed buildings. Due to a voluntary management-initiated evacuation of all guests and staff 2 days beforehand, no one was killed or injured. National and international media covered devastation of the Binnaburra bushfire. This high-profile media coverage threw the lodge into the spotlight, gaining immediate attention from the public and government. All messaging was controlled through the media spokesperson, Steve Noakes, via TV, radio and print media, as well as the in-house social media sites and mailings to shareholders. Binnaburra Lodge acted quickly to convert their website into #BringBackBinnaburra messaging, providing information and updates on the recovery efforts. The campaign has focused on sharing videos of the lodge site being cleared, photos of wildlife returning, profiling staff who carried out the evacuation, rebuilding the site, special events for the public, and general updates. A GoFundMe page was also set up. The state government also committed $50,000 through disaster recovery funding. Today, the lodge is a thriving accommodation site again, contributing to the experiences on offer in the Gold Coast hinterland. Finally, the last phase of the funnel, grow. This is where existing customers become advocates. In the advocacy stage, customers are so delighted with your products and services that they spread the word to their friends and family. This goes a step beyond retention because the customer is actively encouraging other people to make purchases. Happy customers talk, and in small communities, word of mouth is gold. Encourage reviews, create referral programs, and share stories that show how your business has adapted and stayed resilient. Customer journeys don't have a distinct end because brands should always aim to please even their most loyal customers to encourage more customers, and the cycle starts again. For keeping customers, you'll need to consider the retain and advocate parts of the customer journey. How are you going to retain your existing customers? How will you encourage your customers to advocate for your business? For those of you with business-to-business B2B models, the principles are the same, but relationships matter even more. Reliability, clear communication, and proactive updates during disruptions build trust and keep your partners with you. The B2B customer journey is very similar to the B2C journey, except there are different touch points and different needs from the financial buyer. Consider Saturn Corporation's early recall experience with their dealerships. A month after the first Saturns were launched, the company discovered a flaw in the car's front seat recliner mechanisms. As soon as it had tracked down the problem, Saturn voluntarily recalled 1,480 cars. After briefing dealers on the recall by closed-circuit television, the company contacted all customers by letter through an overnight delivery service and told them whether or not their car was affected. The recall went so smoothly that the company incorporated it in its advertising campaign. One ad showed a Saturn representative flying to Alaska with a replacement seat. That car had been purchased elsewhere because there were no dealers in Alaska. The ad showed how far out of its way Saturn would go to satisfy customers. A key part of keeping customers is how you respond to feedback, especially negative feedback. Transparency, calmness, and honesty go a long way. If you make a mistake, own it. If circumstances change due to a disaster, explain clearly what that means for your customers. And always keep the lines of communication open. Managing customer complaints and feedback is critical in the context of disasters, but also throughout your business delivery. During disasters, clear and regular communications with customers is essential. Framing context is important. Businesses are often first to communicate warnings and alerts after governments and authorities. In fact, businesses should provide this information to their customers as early as possible, as well as how this will impact specific business operations. In responding to feedback and comments, provide regular updates. Keep your audience informed to avoid speculation and misunderstandings. Tell the truth. Transparency is vital to your credibility. Be calm and measured to convey a sense of control. Speak with one voice. Share agreed key messages with your team and your audience so your business has a unified voice. The media loves a hero or a villain. Help shift focus from assigning blame by promoting a hero. Promote the heroic actions of emergency services, your staff, or your community in a crisis. The example on the screen illustrates the importance of acknowledging the truth, conveying a calm, controlled tone, and highlighting the positives. On the left, we have an example of a negative accommodation review being responded to, acknowledging the negative experience, but providing surety that it's being discussed and rectified. On the right, however, there is a negative review of a tavern, also being responded to with honesty, transparency, and positivity. There are also various communication channels you can use to reach your customers at each stage of the journey. These channels are what you would use before, during, and after a disaster hits to communicate with your customers. Understand if your channels are offline or online and what risks are associated with these choices. There are a range of providers that offer stable and reliable connectivity so you can continue providing and conducting business. When you are preparing your communications, consider who your audiences are: customers, internal staff, partners, suppliers, etc. Where is your information coming from? For example, it could be Western Downs Regional Council or media outlets such as ABC Radio, Queensland Government like the Queensland Reconstruction Authority or the Bureau of Meteorology. Social media is going to be one of your main channels. You can take action immediately and promptly to reach as many of your customers as possible. Post-crisis, ensure that your posts have an optimistic and positive tone. Look to the future. Post success stories of local champions and fundraisers. Actively respond to comments and questions on social media. Share a mass update email to your database. Provide your phone number or email for people to contact you directly. Disasters don't have to mean losing customers. In fact, handled well, they can be an opportunity to strengthen trust and loyalty. Thank you for listening to this workshop topic on getting and keeping your customers. The next workshop module topic is on supporting you as a business owner and how you can support yourself and your team. Be sure to keep following Western Downs Regional Council to view other resources and support programs. Stay resilient and take care.